So we'll start Supreme Court. Fine. From bareact. So once you go through it, bareact, so you'll get a clarity from Laxmikant. Just read Laxmikant. Same thing are there in Laxmikant, but here you'll get more clarity. Okay. Fine. So Supreme Court, that is the Union Judiciary, Chapter 4 in our Indian Constitution. So the first article is Article 124. Establishment and Constitution of Supreme Court. So there shall be, no need to write anything, just understand. There shall be a Supreme Court. It means where the word shall is there, 100% it is mandatory to have a Supreme Court. Supreme Court will always be there. So it is mandatory to have a Supreme Court of India consisting of a Chief Justice of India until Parliament by law prescribes a larger number of not more than 7 other judges. Now, to increase the number of judges, who has the power? Parliament has the power. So Parliament can increase the number of judges. Now, what is the total number of judges? 34. It is 34 including Chief Justice of India. Now see, initially it was until Parliament by law prescribes a larger number of not more than 7 other judges. It has been eventually it was increased. In today's time it is 34 as per the recent Amendment Act of 2019. The Supreme Court judges, number of judges, it can be increased by Parliament. Now you tell me, is it not an interference in judiciary? Who is increasing the judges? That is nothing but legislature is increasing the number of judges. Where? Judiciary. So now these are the points you have to write in your mains answer. The mains answer, the mains question topic will be about separation of powers. Separation of powers. Do we have real separation of powers? We have 3 organs, right? Executive, legislature, parliament. Judiciary. And Article 50 says there should not be any kind of interference between the judiciary and executive. Fine. Prime Minister is a part of legislature also. He is also a part of executive. Now, Parliament is interfering in judiciary. Is it not interference? It is interference. But in India, we do not follow strict separation of powers. We do not follow strict separation of powers. Like the Western concept. Here there are interference. But the point is, when the question comes in mains, if you write this point, you will get that extra mark. Because you are totally giving a constitutional provision. There are other points also. It is one of the point. It is one of the point which you will mention that there is actually no strict separation of powers. Because legislature is clearly interfering in judiciary by increasing the number of judges. It is, see, I am not saying it is bad or wrong. Power has been given by the constitution itself. In one side, there is Parliament can increase. And in other side, same constitution, Article 50, it says there should be separation of powers. Clear? The same constitution. So this is the point which you can take it from here, write it in a separation of powers topic. So the topic is separation of powers, you have to take this point. This is how you have to prepare for your mains. Your prelims preparation will make you increase your mains preparation. You have to take the point. There is no clear-cut mains book. कोई mains book आपको नहीं देगा कि ये लो mains book. You differentiate, right? Now I'll do prelims preparation, then I'll do mains preparation. It is nothing like that. Only the exam pattern is different. Knowledge is the same. It can be asked in prelims question also. They'll simply take Parliament cannot increase the number of judges or something like that. It can be a prelims question. Now this point you take and add it in your analysis of a mains, it becomes a mains answer. Knowledge is the same, right? So it is the how you change your idea. Okay. Next. Second, every judge of a Supreme Court shall be appointed by the, again, Judge is appointed by president. President is part of executive. Same thing. Article 50 क्या बोलता है? Executive and judiciary separation of powers. Strictly it is violating that article. See, good or bad नहीं है. What I'm trying to say is how you analyze the point and write in your answer. So, every judge of a Supreme Court shall be appointed by the president under his hand and seal on the recommendation of the NJAC, that is National Judicial Appointments Commission. But this NJAC is now void. It is now void. Who told it is void? Supreme Court said it is void. What happened is in 2014, after the Modi government came, what they did is, I'll tell you how the appointment is done, but before that, they changed the constitution here. They added this. They added this and told that from today, there will be a commission which will recommend who will be the next judge, who will be the next CGI or the Supreme Court judges. Now the thing is, why it was declared void by the Supreme Court? Because in this commission, what they did is they kept a law minister. They kept one member as the law minister. Now who is the law minister? He is from the ruling party. It means it will be prone to bias. All the judges will be from ruling party, right? Now if judges are from the ruling party, then will there be any kind of independence of the judiciary? Independence of judiciary will not be there, and judiciary has to be independent because judiciary takes care of our rights. It has to be independent. So this particular law, NJAC Act of 2014 or 15, it went to Supreme Court immediately. Supreme Court declared it void because of two things. It is violating the independence of judiciary, and independence of judiciary is one of the basic structure of our constitution. You cannot touch that. You cannot change that. Independence of the judiciary. Okay. Second thing, it is also violating Article 50. It is an interference on the judiciary. See, the same Supreme Court is saying it is the interference on the judiciary, but nothing has been said about this. It is also an interference, right? Parliament is increasing. But here at least the basic structure is not violated. Parliament is increasing, but the basic structure is not violated. But there in NJAC, the basic structure is violated because the independence of the judiciary is not preserved. Here to some extent, independence of judiciary is preserved. I'll tell you how. Okay. Now from here comes, so NJAC is void now. Then how it is done? How the appointment of judges are done? Anyone? How it is done? How the judges are appointed? By the president it is appointed, okay. But the president here will not do it on his discretion. There is no discretion. Because in collegium system. So in whole constitution, president has no constitutional discretion. Has no constitutional discretion. Wherever you find president, it is not his discretion. He acts on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. That is the PM and the ministers. They will advise. Okay? He only has situational discretion. Situational discretion. Any time when there is nothing mentioned in the constitution, what to do? That is situational discretion. It means a situation has come where nothing is mentioned in the constitution. What president will do? So at that point of time, he may take a discretion. One situation is after an election, suppose after a Lok Sabha election, there is no clear-cut majority. There is no clear-cut majority. So at that point of time, the president can call any party. It can call first any party, but that party has to prove the majority. They have to take some independent candidates, or they have to do some post-poll alliances. Post-poll. After election also you can do alliances. That is called post-poll alliances. So at that point of time he can take discretion. But in the constitution there is no constitutional discretion. Clear? Okay. Now I'll tell you how the president, how the appointment is done. But before that, let us cover this. So, Supreme Court, every judge will be appointed by president. Now, this is not there. NJAC is not there. Okay? And shall hold office until he attains the age of 65. So, age limit is 65 years, appointed by president. But how the appointment is done, it is not mentioned in Constitution. That one we'll discuss now. How it is done and from where it came. Nothing, no procedure is mentioned. Only mentioned it will be appointed by president. That's it. Okay? Okay. Provided that a judge may, by writing under his hand, address to president, resign. So, if a judge wants to resign from his own will, he can resign. How? Just by writing to the president. Okay? Second, a judge may be removed. It means you are removing him from his office in a manner provided in clause 4. So it means we will go to the clause 4 and see how a judge is removed. So that topic is removal of judges. That topic is removal of judges. How a judge is removed, we'll see in clause 4. Okay. Second, the age of a judge of a Supreme Court shall be determined by such a authority and in such manner as Parliament by law provide. Age of a judge, the age of a judge of a Supreme Court will be determined. So who has the power? Parliament has the power. Parliament has the power कि judge of a Supreme Court वो कर सकता है. So Parliament has the power means Parliament will make a law and add something. It is up to the Parliament. So no need to remember the laws. I'll tell you whichever is important and you can make notes. But at least from here, you should know that the power is with Parliament as per the Constitution. Age of a Supreme Court. Clear? Next. A person shall not be qualified for the appointment of a judge of a Supreme Court unless he is a citizen. So one is, he has to be a citizen of India. So outsiders, or you can say who is non-citizen, cannot be a judge of a Supreme Court. Cannot be a judge of a Supreme Court. Outsiders cannot be a judge of a Supreme Court. So they can ask you this question. Ki those are staying outside, suppose they are not a citizen, they can also are eligible for this. No, he has to be a citizen. Second, no, here the word is and. The word is and he has been for at least 5 years a judge of a high court or 2 or more such courts in succession. Again, or has been at least 10 years an advocate of a high court or 2 or more such courts in succession. So this is mandatory. Anyone, either or. He can be an advocate of a high court for 10 years or 5 years judge of a high court, or can be in 2 or more courts, in that too in succession. The word is succession. It means gap is not allowed. So what they will do, they will add gap here. It is possible, like they will frame the sentence. They will frame the sentence. They will take these words and they will frame the sentence in prelims. Prelims thing, not, this is not related to mains, prelims things. Ki they can have a succession and they can be also like they're qualified for appointment. No, gap अगर हो जाता है 2 to 3 years, 2 to more such courts में अगर gap हो जाता है तो फिर नहीं हो पाएगा. Clear? Or again one more thing. Or is in the opinion of the president a distinguished jurist. Now you tell me, in the opinion of president, I told you there is nothing discretionary powers. Okay? In the opinion. It means again president can also nominate anyone as a judge. He has to be distinguished jurist. Famous. He has to be famous, and distinguished means what? Established, kind of an established jurist. So here also president can, in the opinion of the president, but in back end it is the opinion of the Council of Ministers. So now tell me, Can this point not be misused? Misused, right? Simply you have to take this point, write in mains. It means you have to be ready with the points. That is how you have to make notes. This point is a mains point. It means when you write problems of Supreme Court or anything related to this appointment of judges or something, you have to take this point. It can be misused, right? It is how, see, always try to develop interpreting the constitution. I'm not saying ki interpret from a lawyer, like you want to be a lawyer or something, nothing like that. Only to create that IQ level, increase your IQ level, and it will enrich your mains answers. Simply the main funda is it will enrich your mains answer, because it is the mains writing which will help you get marks, not prelims. It is the mains writing. Okay? ठीक है.